The dumbbell floor pullover is the same movement and skill as the dumbbell pullover on the bench, but you are actually doing it on the floor. So we want to have a nice flat back, really pushing down. Think flat and wide, so you're pulling out into those obliques, those core muscles on the side. And what we're going to do there with our hands is holding them straight up with long straight arms above the chest. We've got that dumbbell sitting in the hands, and the hands are linked, the fingers are linked. It's just going to make sure the dumbbell stays nice and evenly distributed across those two hands. And then we're simply going to push the arms back. Think about reaching or pushing back. And you're going to go as far as you can before the dumbbell hits the ground. Once the dumbbell hits the ground, straight arms, pulling it back above the chest. Now you also want to make sure that that dumbbell should stay pretty up and down the whole time. You don't want it to be tipping too much, so don't grip that dumbbell too hard. A variation you can use to get that core really fired up is legs up in the air about 90 degrees at the knees, 90 degrees at the hips, and it's the exact same movement from there. We just really have to work harder to keep that core and keep that trunk really rigid. So still reaching back as far as you can go, pulling it back over, really feeling that stretch and that pull in the lats as you bring it back above your chest. And something that I consider to be really key to this movement is making sure that the core always wins this fight. So as you're trying to pull those arms or push those arms back as far as they go, the core is going to want to break, but we need to keep it really, really tight. Don't let the back rise up off the ground. Don't let yourself get pulled. The core stays on and you go as far as you can back with that dumbbell with the core on. That's your number one rule that you have to hold to the whole time. But apart from that, it is quite hard to go wrong with this exercise. Obviously make sure you don't drop the dumbbell, but if you have those fingers linked, that shouldn't be a problem. And from there we hold that focus on the core staying on, back staying flat, and really trying to focus on the lats as we do this exercise, as we get that pull. And that is the dumbbell floor pullover.